Welcome back to the Power and the Glory. Today's scripture is taken from the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 21. But before I read the scripture, please like, share, and subscribe. It does make a huge difference to the Google algorithm. And thank you to my existing subscribers for your ongoing support. I really do appreciate it. So I'll read the scripture now. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. So this verse means that God protects the righteous who are not permanently or spiritually harmed during trials and tribulations, but the wicked will be constantly beset with issues and problems of their own making. As with many verses about protection in the Bible, God does not promise that his followers will not get buffeted by events during such trials and tribulations, but he does promise that they won't be permanently set back by them. That being said, let's have a look at the scripture now and its major themes in more detail, starting off with the controlled suffering of the righteous. So the righteous will experience suffering, and at sometimes this may seem severe and indeed prolonged. But here is the difference. If they suffer, it's because God has mandated that suffering is necessary for their spiritual growth or character development. Suffering in this guise is designed to bring out required qualities that his followers are going to need to better serve him. Qualities like patience, endurance, composure during oppression, peace in the middle of uncertainty, and full reliance on God rather than self. They're all attributes of those who go through one of God's trials by fire, or certainly those are the attributes at the end of successfully navigating one of his trials by fire, where he tests his followers' spirits and refines them through the fire of their own suffering. Now, the no harm promise is made because God intends never to give the righteous a greater test than they're able to manage. He is with us as a strict parent that guides us down tough paths for our betterment in his glory, but never for our destruction. So the righteous suffer, but within limitations set by God and not beyond them. It's worth remembering that. Not so the fate of the wicked. While the righteous are tested severely, it's sometimes hard to distinguish between them and the wicked, who are also going to be going through a hard time. In fact, the wicked may for a season enjoy the best things in life, flying in the face of what the righteous expect. And it is very annoying when that happens. I've seen it happen in my own life. It seems they're immune from judgment, but only for a while, because when you're wicked, you're going a long way down a dead-end street. And then God's judgment, divine judgment, happens and the suffering begins for them. But there is a difference between how both parties suffer. With the righteous, they'll be castigated within strict boundaries, but critically, they're still protected by God. Not so the wicked, whose punishment has no limitations because they have no protection. Those who live outside God's obedience cannot expect his protection and thereby suffer to an unlimited extent with nothing to curb or end their suffering. The wicked are filled with trouble because their continued actions often directly produce chaotic, self-destructive consequences, and because they lack divine protection, they can fall headlong to hell with no handholds. So I encourage us to have a different perspective on trials. So for the righteous, trials should now be viewed as temporary and necessary periods of suffering. Most of those trials are used for our character development and growth by God. For the wicked, trials and tribulation are the deserved harvest of their malice, leading to a final destination of damnation and a death slide into eternal oblivion.